Hello, friends. Hello, dear friends. Thank you for joining. I can see one by one you are coming. This is the sixth episode of Wild Wild Slide Lounge series, and tonight I'm really happy, delighted, and really feel so much warmth in my heart to invite my dear friend, long time friend, musician friend, a Sufi friend, Ramadan from Haifa, Israel. We had been doing music together since so many years in Pune times, in Osho atmosphere, in Osho ashram, and many other places. And he's such a wonderful, delightful musician. You will all see for yourself when you hear him play, sing. Totally Sufi at heart, and that's how he plays his music from the heart. And he's also an amazing composer. He is a delightful composer, I would say. He composes such amazing pieces. Many of those pieces have yet to see the daylight, I think, but he is probably working on it, and soon we will see more of his albums online, uh, available to listen to. So now I will see if he has joined me, and I will straight away invite him. Yes, now I'm sending him a request. Yes, Ramadan ji.
Yeah,
Now we are here.
yeah, now I can see you and I can see myself.
Great,
Okay,
great, great,
great.
great, great.
So I have a cat trying to come through the window there. Bloody bastard!
Uh-huh.
He's gonna pull off a lamp there, which I put my cat here.
Okay. So happy to have you, Ramadan, on this series, which I had been doing since some weeks, some months now. And before I was just inviting slide guitar players. Now I created this section called Lounge, where I invite uh, different musicians who practice, let's say, conscious art, and also spiritual catalysts who are doing good work on this healing and meditations and all that. So, and it's also very good to invite person like you in this series, whom I know so well from all these years of our acquaintances and playing together, and doing music in so many events in Osho ashram also. And so we know so much of each other's music, of each other's maybe life also. And it's such a delight to share this space of, like, in COVID situation, we are doing a lot of things online, and to share all this again with person like you is what brings such a happiness to me right now.
Thank you. Me too. I'm so happy to be connected with you again after a few years. Huh?
Yeah.
Like we go quite a long time in the ashram, in Goa, in Pune. Where else? In
Yes.
San Francisco, the
Yet to go there. Yet to go
Antar-
there.
Antarctica. Remember that gig in Antarctica? Oh my God, that
Yes,
was
I do.
cold. That was
That was really cool.
that
So,
was
guys, now
cold.
you see this guy's uncanny sense of humor kicking in,
I was
and this is
serious,
the
man.
this
You
is the beauty
forgot,
of
huh?
having.
All day just come in and you keep forgetting.
And we had that thali in Antarctica. You forgot that
Tali,
too?
my God, that Tali place in Antarctica. But it was, oh
Food
yeah,
was
it was
cold,
too, it was cold.
but the chai was good.
Chai was good because we brought the thermos with us.
Yes, 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 yes. So Rama, how are you doing these days? What is your life in this lockdown situation?
Actually, like we said before, nothing has changed really.
Ha, ha, ha,
In
ha.
some ways, because I'm always home anyway with the music, and
Yeah, yeah.
so there's not so much going on. So of course now I have less choice, but
Uh,
basically on the practical level, not so much less choice. In fact,
uh,
I even have more time, to do things now because I'm
please do
not.
that. Please do that and bring your wonderful music
Just
out
a
to
minute.
the world.
Sorry, the earphone is keep falling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm just doing the same things except with more concentration now. And the fact that usually I'm now in India, and kind of
Mm,
Goa, so I didn't go, and so that means I didn't have to cut my flow of doing things.
mm,
Organizing the travel, going there
mm,
and start. So that was perfect and kind of accepted it. And luckily, I'm in a nice place. It's warm.
mm, mm.
I get my own little garden, so that
Wow.
so I don't have to be caught up in the flat, without
Mm,
going out. So that was good. It is
mm.
good, yeah.
Yes.
And then like like now that we are connecting, that's kind of a part of it. Before we kind of took it for granted. Now we have this, and we can really connect, and somehow it's more from the heart because you
Yeah.
realize you cannot take it for granted. So
Yes.
when you connect with a friend, it's like, oh great,
Yeah.
you remember all the good things, and so
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
and
Yes.
especially
Yes.
with you, I have so many nice memories and so much laughter.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah.
Rama, please play something from your heartland, from Israel. I really want to
Uh,
listen to some song, whatever brings, whatever comes to you.
okay. So, okay, I would just improvise on a song that I composed many years ago on the oud. So it's kind
Okay.
of improvisation on a theme. It's not really. So let me first get these things happening.
Hmm.
So that's the oud.
Wow.
So now we're gonna have a problem, but because it's different, I'm not so. Can you hear?
Yes. It's sounding like Veena.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it has a soft sound of vina.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sounding beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful, Ramadan, amazing. So nice, so nice. Even to hear these sounds across this cultural bridge, let us say, it's so nice, so
Okay,
refreshing to.
I was a bit shy. So,
Yeah, I can. But no, no, but the sounds, even if you play minimum of these things, it sounds great
okay.
because it brings so much of the cultural tone and the notes and
The yeah
the sounds. Yeah,
the physical sound of the instrument.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
But
yes, yes,
if
yes.
you've noticed, I play a bit. You can see my Indian influence in it. Huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the little means that I do. You know.
Means.
Yeah. Yeah. So I played in a way. Okay, I was born in Morocco, so you know,
Uh,
and I live in Israel.
uh,
So I'm kind of familiar with all these sounds because you grow up with
mm.
it. Huh?
Yes, yes, yes,
And so you know the little runs they do on the instrument. There's a certain way of playing the instrument.
yes.
And because India is my home, so I love the Indian music. So I also have this kind of the means and the
Yes.
slides. So when I take an instrument like this, automatically I try to play in an Indian way. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah. Yeah, it was sounding Veena also the way the because it's low strings
it's
and it's
got the
sounding
Vina sound.
so
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah, good, good. So maybe later we can do another thing. Yeah.
Yes, you must, you must. So you said you were born in Morocco and then you
Yeah.
were brought up there also, like your childhood was in.
I yeah, my childhood was until 12, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was born in a Jewish family called
Mm-hmm.
Spanish Jews,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and after that we kind of all the Jews moved to Israel, you know. So we
Mm-hmm.
moved to Israel, and I stayed only very few years, you know, when I was 12,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically I just picked up. I had $5 in my pocket. I took a boat to Italy. And I said, that's it, I'm gone, you know. So I started traveling, you know, when I was
Wow.
18.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to go to Nepal, the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then because I had Israeli passport, so I could not actually cross Asia, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wait, and I found a way somehow to, through Sri Lanka, a few years later, to do a little turn and then cross the border to India, you know. So that was,
Yes.
and I lived also, before I came to India, I lived in Europe for quite a few years. I lived almost in every country in Europe. And in between, I managed to live in Australia also. And so I got, where else? Yeah, we talked about Antarctica, but
And the music was all along with you, or you kept taking in
music,
the influences of various
music I
places?
started pretty late actually.
Okay.
I bought my first guitar when I was in Europe. I kind of started, in fact, yeah, I started with kind of folk rock guitar, you know, this kind of the Eagles and stuff like that. And also developed my own style. And along the way, I played in a few bands, like in Australia, more like a world music band with a lot of percussion, DJs. I played in a jazz band. So I played a few styles. So I'm kind of have a lot of influence, you know. Even when I compose a piece of, you know, like a relaxed piece, you can immediately feel some jazz influence or something in it. You know? Yeah, so that was my. And India, okay. One time I was in Amsterdam. That was really, and I came this caravan of Indian musicians. You know,
Okay.
they had like a group, and they go around, and but really top musicians, huh? Zakir Hussain, Shiv Kumar Sharma, you name it, you know. And then one time I was in this church in Amsterdam, Moses and Aaron Kurtz. Some people will kind of know it probably from the hippie days. And there was a concert of Shiv Kumar Sharma. And I remember it was like maybe a few hundred people, and he started playing, and I went into a trance immediately, you know. It was like, it was amazing. And then I looked around, and I could realize, you could see that everybody was in a trance, you know.
Wow.
You feel it, you know. And then when he stopped playing, it's like we all got up in the same time and gave him a standing ovation for about half an hour. We didn't want him. And then I remember I said, I would love to play that instrument, you know, to the santoor, you know. And then somehow it took me many years until I came to Australia, and the guy came back from Pune. He said, look, I have this santoor which I bought. You want to give it to you for very cheap? So I said, sure. That's my first santoor, you know. Yeah. And then along the way, it's like I got interested in Sufi music because I feel, let's say, I'm more of a romantic Sufi than a real Sufi in a way of going the discipline, you know. I like the music because it's very emotional and I can feel it, you know. In fact, you could say I'm more a meditator than a Sufi in that way, you know. But I have that side because I know the music, I can feel it. So naturally, I can really go into it, you know, totally natural, you know. I don't have to come. It just comes out. I know the scales, I heard them, you know, the way they played them. And so it's kind of, that's kind of, sometimes people say, like you wrote, oh, he's a Sufi. Yeah, but I always say to people, I'm a romantic Sufi. You know? I like the beautiful side of the Sufi, is like the music, you know, and because I mean, also most people, that's what they know also, you know. I think because if you think of Sufis, like in Afghanistan, they had this monasteries, you know, like if you see Gurdjieff, you know, in the movie A Remarkable Meeting with a Remarkable Man, you see that they have strong disciplines, you know, very
Yes.
strong discipline.
I saw one in Iran, in the
Yeah.
city of Shiraz, where it was properly a monastery situation, and and it was a shrine of Shiraz also. What's the Sufi saint? Anyway, so it was a proper compound where Sufism was practiced seriously, and of course, if one needs to go deep into some paths, then one has to be disciplined about it to get really
Totally,
deep into
totally.
it. Otherwise, you won't get the hang of it, really, what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
But I can understand that as a musician, you see these things and you get you absorb those influences and then you
yeah,
play
yeah,
it
yeah,
back into your music
yeah, yeah, yeah.
effortlessly.
In
Yeah.
Morocco, as a kid, this is interesting. There was a Sufi order. It was
Mhm.
made from ex-slaves, black people,
Oh,
because Morocco is really the door of Black Africa.
yes,
It's a
true.
very special country in a way. It's got a lot of
Yes.
African influence. It's a Middle
Mm.
Eastern country. I mean, it's
Mm.
way next to Spain,
Mm.
but it's got a lot of Black African influence.
Mm.
So they had
Mm.
many slaves in Morocco, like I
Mm.
don't know how many, but anyway, they got freed, and then they somehow they started. How is called that music? Shit, I forgot the name now. Anyway, they started. They used to go like troops around the country, you know, with drums and castanets, like metal castanets,
Mm.
and kind of all kind of violins, special violins,
Mm.
and they just played around, and you see them getting entranced there, and then people gave them money, and then they went to the next
Mm.
place, and that was so you could hear, but it was a totally different kind of Sufi music. It's not this kind
Mm.
of Middle Eastern scales, really
Mm.
African,
Mm.
you know, really
Mm.
African, trancy.
Mm.
Gnawa, that's the name. Gnawa.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Mm.
So that's a different type of Sufism, you know, really
Mm.
music. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But and Turkey, I was in Turkey. I love Turkey. I spent a lot of time in Istanbul, and I used to go
Mm.
to the. There was a big Sufi center in of Rumi. I
Mm.
was also in Konya, and I went there and
Konya.
stayed. Yeah, yeah. And in Istanbul, there's a big, beautiful old building made of wood, and they had a central room with the balconies where the musicians sat in the balconies and played music,
Mm.
and the whirlers were in the middle, and
Yeah.
it's so beautiful, and the
Yeah.
music is like wow, you know, it's like
They play live music
tears,
there? They play
live,
all the.
totally live,
Mm.
and it's like really brings tears to your eyes, you know, when you hear
Mm.
them. It's like amazing, you know.
Mm.
So I love very much the Turkish Sufis, you know, the
Mm.
music is amazing. Wow, they have
Mm.
compositions like half an hour, 2 hour, 3 hours compositions, you know, like one piece, you
Mm.
know, they take one
All
scale,
fixed, like.
very fixed. I mean,
Mm.
the Turkish classical music is
Mm.
started by the Sufis. They
Mm.
started the music, and then it became Turkish classical music, which like pieces are
Mm.
really written and they follow a
Mm.
certain order, you know, like
Mm.
every line is written and it's played like Western classical music, you know, like
Wow.
so that was a beautiful for me, a beautiful influence, and yeah. So.
And how many instruments you play, Ramadan? Like I know you play
Oh,
oud, you
I used to play a
play.
lot of things. You know, at a certain time when lived in Australia, my main instrument was guitar.
Okay, okay.
Okay, when I lived in Australia, I lived in the tropical areas, and I got sick by a virus, you know,
Oh.
and the virus gave me really a lot of troubles with my fingers and my hands, like rheumatoid
Mm.
arthritis, you know. And
Mm.
then suddenly I could not play anymore guitar, you know, and I could not play
Oh.
anymore. I also was playing flutes, and I was studying
Oh.
clarinet. I was playing the
Wow.
drums, percussions, and I had to stop everything, you know. So along the way, I had
Mm.
sorry, just a minute. So I had to change the instrument. Luckily, I love the santoor, and the santoor you don't have to play with fingers. So so I dropped a lot of instruments. Otherwise, if my hands were still okay, I would play a lot of instruments right now, like yeah, oud and saz and bouzoukis, and you name it, some Persian instruments, some African instruments. I play keyboards, all that stuff,
And
clarinets.
then,
I used to.
yeah,
It's okay,
wow.
but eventually, when you have music in you, you can even use two
Yeah,
stones and it comes out.
yes,
So it's
definitely.
not the instrument really, because I
Yeah.
remember when I was in Pune
Uh,
and I was started to study the santoor, the class. Yeah, you were one of my teachers,
oh, no,
I
no.
remember no, the Indian classical.
Hmm.
You didn't teach me the santoor. We taught me the raga. I remember
Hmm.
we studied the yaman, I think.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I mean, you know more about Indian classical music than I know. I mean, you're a bandit. I'm just
Yes, yes, yes,
a
yes.
bandit. Uh, what was I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, what was I going to say?
Santoor, and you were saying about
Ah,
Santoor,
yeah,
and you
yeah, about
started.
Santoor. Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about Santoor. Uh, I remember some other really good musicians, Indians there.
Hmm.
Suddenly they kind of look down at the santoor like, it's not really sarod, or it's not really the sitar where you can have the mint. And I was really, I was not upset, but I was surprised. And I used to tell them, it doesn't matter what you play, it's not the instrument, it's you,
It's you,
and
definitely.
yeah, and so you cannot look down at an instrument because it doesn't fit your concept of this is an Indian classical music, and Shiv Kumar Sharma did an amazing thing. Look what he did, he took the
Yes.
santoor from zero and developed the techniques, developed everything, and
Hmm.
so and it's to hear Shiv Kumar Sharma, it's amazing, it's so
Hmm.
wow, it's like
Hmm.
yeah.
And also the percussions that you play, like so many percussion, the same flow you play all that.
Yeah, yeah, I used to
Because
play. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah, yeah. I played different tuned percussions. I played like vibraphones, marimbas. I had all kind of balafons, African balafons, all that
mm,
stuff. I used to have so many instruments. I used to collect them.
mm,
And even till now, I have in Australia some instruments stored because they are too big to travel with.
mm,
Like a vibraphone, which is all made of metals, can
mm,
60 kilos or something like that. It's all,
yes.
but it's really amazing instrument, so beautiful.
Mm,
But okay, it's like when you're a gypsy, sometimes, upper class gypsy, because you still carry with your instruments on the
mm.
airplane. But you cannot take so much with you. So.
Yes, yes. People ask gypsies, where is your furniture? This is a call. People ask, this
Where's
is the
your
same.
furniture?
Where is your furniture? And the gypsy would ask, where is yours? Then the guest would say, but I am just visiting. So then gypsy say, yes, I am also
I
just
am also
visiting.
visiting. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember when we were in Osho commune days in like late
2000.
2000 and all that period. At that time also there were lots of instruments there in music room, and then we used to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
so many. I mean, it was like a we could try anything that we wanted in some
It's
way,
true.
and we
Yeah.
could do that also. You played drum set also so many times,
Yeah, the drum
and
kit. Yeah, yeah,
drum kit.
yeah. Yeah, that period was amazing. It was like a most incredible period. Playing in a music department in the ashram. Wow, that was
Hmm.
So creative, huh?
So creative and such fond memories and such
Wow.
amazing musicians were there, and
Amazing, amazing.
every night was amazing. That's the word
Yeah,
for
it's
it. Every
incredible. It's incredible.
incredibly amazing.
You have to make every day new composition, and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in
yeah,
one
yeah.
hour you have a piece. It's like wow,
Yes,
and
those were the
such a variation of things. So many
yes,
flavors.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, that was
So,
nice.
so
Yeah.
Ramadan, tell me your journey with Osho, how it started, because I also didn't get to hear that part. Please.
Okay. I remember I was in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
I just came back. I was in one of my journeys. I think I was in Greece and I went to Berlin somehow. And somebody says, "Hey, you go to Amsterdam." So I went to Amsterdam
Mm-hmm.
and I started working in a kind of a vegetarian restaurant.
Oh.
And that was still the hippie days. Now we're talking about the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And Amsterdam was amazing city. It was really amazing city.
Mm-hmm.
So much. And then suddenly I started seeing these people with orange. But only very few, very very few. And
Mm-hmm.
then one guy, a friend of mine, he's now like he was a cook in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cooperative, so we all worked and got to. So we were like it would be the restaurant was belonging to all of us. So we
Mm-hmm.
cooked. One day you cook, one day you are a waiter, one day you clean, one day you wash the dishes. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
and this guy Carlos now he's like a shaman, a ayahuasca shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's Suddenly he said, "Look, I have really two nice books for you from this amazing guy in India. This guy was not
Mm-hmm.
sannyasi, so he gave me From Sex to Super Consciousness, the book, and
Mm-hmm.
then My Way, the Way of the White Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I took them and I was really searching those days, very strong. I said, great. So I went home and I started reading, and I remember it was like it was like after reading a few chapters, it's like a huge stone just fell off my shoulders. It was like
Mm-hmm.
I felt this guy speaking my heart totally. What
Mm-hmm.
he's putting in words what I was feeling. And then of course I said, okay. I think a few months later, I was in India already. And then I met, of course, along the way, I met a few sannyasis, and then in
What was
Amsterdam.
the year? What was the year you first came
Oh,
to
that was,
Pune to show?
oh, no, I met my first, I took sannyas in 78,
Okay.
1978. You probably you're not even born yet. No,
No, no, no. I was 10
I
years
was
old at
born.
that time.
Okay. I met my first sannyasis in 1975.
Okay.
That's why I read the first book of Osho, and then I decided to go. Anyway, I wanted to go to India anyway, but then
Mm-hmm.
that really gave me a push. That's like
Mm-hmm.
you have like a real. So I came to India in '76,
Okay.
and being the gypsy that I am, so I didn't come
Mm-hmm.
straight to the ashram. I was in Sri Lanka, then I went to Nepal, then I went to Ladakh. I was traveling for maybe a year and a half before I arrived to Pune. And then I came to Pune in '78, really
Mm-hmm.
early, so like now. Yeah, I mean, what's the day today? Tomorrow is my
20.
sannyas. Tomorrow is my sannyas birthday.
Wow. Happy birthday, Sanya's birthday,
Yeah,
Ramadan.
thank you. You can
A
send me
very.
a virtual present,
Yes, I will.
a virtual
Perfect.
check.
Perfect time to remember all these
It's
things.
tomorrow. I remember 22nd of February. It's my
Okay.
sannyas
Great.
birthday.
Great.
Wow.
Great. 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 And it
So
was Pune 1.
78.
It was Pune
Punawan,
1.
Punawan. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It was very wild and very strong. It was beautiful. And
Hmm.
Osho was so beautiful because he was still in this poetic period, you know. It was very
Mm,
simple, wearing the white robe always
mm,
with a towel on
mm.
his,
Yes.
and the language he was using, it was amazing. It was so,
Mm,
and also like the most of the ashram, I think the average age was I was early 20s, you know, and average age
mm,
was 25 in the ashram, you know, something like that.
oh.
It was still very young, you know.
Mm,
So that was an amazing period. Strong,
mm,
wow,
mm,
amazing. It's like it was rough sometimes, because
mm,
sometimes you come there, and I remember I did a few groups, and in the beginning I just didn't understand what they want from me, you know, in the 30
mm,
groups, you know, because
mm,
suddenly it's like you have to open up, and so it's like,
mm,
wow. But, you know, with the time, okay, you
mm,
know, now it's, when I came back, Pune too,
mm.
I was also in Oregon for a while, you know,
Okay.
in
Mm,
America.
mm,
And then I stayed away from sannyasis, not on purpose. It just happened.
mm,
I was in Australia, and I lived in this tropical area in a valley, you know. So it was like
mm,
I was a beautiful place, you know. When I
mm,
came to Pune too in '97, I came. I think that's when I met you, no? '98, something like that. I
yes, yes,
remember
yes, yes,
you
yes.
came. Remember we used to hang out with Antar,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy Antar.
Another bandit.
Totally bandits. But actually, the energy was amazing because it was so
Yeah,
different
yeah.
than Punawan, and it was in a way more amazing. I found it more amazing. Although Punawan was raw energy, but then Puna 2 was like more
Little
mature. Yeah,
refined and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, much more refined. Not a little bit, much more
Mm.
refined,
Okay.
and I liked it. You know, it was.
Mm.
Of course, I was more refined too. You know, so I guess
Mm.
you know, yeah. Yeah, so I think 98. That's it. You came in '98, I remember. No,
98. Yes, yes,
I
yes, yes.
remember you. Of course, I remember you. Always, I
Yeah.
even have some photos of you in a music room,
Yes.
sitting in that music room. It's amazing.
Oh, that music room also was such a joy to be
Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah.
and to practice.
You remember the big net
Yes.
right in Vrindavan in a eating area, and you can just watch, and you could.
Mariam.
Yeah, yeah, and then we had this beautiful sofas and just
Hmm.
hang out there.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful time. Yeah,
Yes.
it is a beautiful time now too. You know.
Now too. Yes. Yeah.
So
But what I feel is that musicians who had gone through this rigor of like therapies or meditation or that atmosphere of like let us say healing or rejuvenation or transformation or whatever you can call, after that they come out like real like some kind of shine in them, the music, the approach
yeah,
the is
totally.
different,
Yeah, yeah,
and the way that see it all is different, and because they understand the core of life, so that core of life and automatically is being expressed in the music whatever they play, even if it's any instrument, any music, any genre, and it automatically comes through that because you cannot hide that spark
yeah.
that you
It's
kind
a
of
quality. It's
ignite.
a quality.
It's a quality. It's a quality.
Totally. I mean, we take it for granted, you know,
Mm,
because we do it and it's like part of us. But
mm,
I know, like, you know, sometimes I record pieces just like this as a practice, you know,
mm,
and then I send it to friends, and many of them, like, I can feel, you know, that there's something that the people like, you know, it's very more calming, it's somehow deeper, you know, it's like there is certain thing which is there, you know, and look how many amazing musicians came out of the ashram, you know.
mm.
Incredible, incredible.
Incredible.
So many good
Incredible.
musicians, you know. It's that extra quality, you know.
Mm,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, I see that. I hear music from all. Sannyasin musicians or musicians. They came from Pune, and it's really
Mm.
amazing.
Mm.
It's like it doesn't have to be technically good, but the soul of it is really, you can feel there is some silence in it, you know. So even if it's like, yeah,
Even if it's simple, but the real thing is there. That's what,
yeah,
because uh, usually the musicians, when they go deep into the technicalities and the different things of their genre and all that, then they do all that, but they forget, maybe they forget, or they kind of uh, over overlook the essence of music, which was in the beginning, that has
yeah,
created that genre, that space. Like suppose in Indian music too, lots of Indian musicians who can do amazing technical things, amazingly fast, and also so many things. But the question is, are they also the same time connected to the core of sound that creates the whole genre, or the whole raga thing, the
yeah, yeah,
whole
yeah.
the spectrum of it? Because if that is lost, then whatever you do will be simply some kind of technical
Totally, yeah,
exercise.
yeah, yeah. And it's a good, actually, that you brought up Indian musicians. It's a really good example because Indian musicians, especially classical,
Hmm.
they're amazing technically. I mean, nobody is like Indian musicians. They can play. I mean, but sometimes I hear them, and not all, and then you see, wow, it's like I don't really feel. It's become so yeah, like you said,
Academic.
so technical and
Yeah.
a bit of a show off sometimes, you know.
Hmm.
And then the soul of the music is lost in it, you know. I mean, it still sounds good, you know,
Hmm.
but you can see that it's not that extra thing, you know, that comes from the heart. Like
And
remember the story Osho used to say? I don't know if I remember it well. There was this guy. Maybe it doesn't. It's not related to the subject, but somehow
hmm.
there was this amazing musician, and this king in India or Raja wanted him to play, you know,
Hmm.
because he heard about him, you know, and so on.
Hmm.
But the guy was very hard to get, you know. And the
Hmm.
king, he said, "I'll give you anything. You just come and play. You know, I really love you and this." And so the musician said, "Okay, I have one thing. You have to do one thing.
Hmm.
I'm going to play. You're going to invite the people, and you're going to tell them, you know, if any of them while I play move their head or their body,
Hmm.
you cut their head, you know."
Hmm.
I want everybody to sit quiet, like a statue, and listen. You know, I don't want
Hmm.
this people disturbing me, moving, and so on.
Hmm.
So the king said, "As you like," you know. So the guy come. You know the story, no?
Hmm.
Maybe I tell it differently. And then, so eventually the concert happens, and the
Hmm.
guy starts playing, and of course he's amazing. You know, I mean, he's like
Hmm.
incredible. So people
Hmm.
are really very, very careful, you know. They know that if they move, they're going to kill, but still, they're going to get killed. But still, they close their eyes, and some of them just started, you know,
Swing.
swaying. And suddenly the musician stopped. He said, "That's it, you know." Those people swayed, and the king was really pissed off. He said, "Sorry, sorry, I told them I'm going to cut their head." And the guy said, "No, no. Now I want you to get those guys, and I want to play for them." You
For
know?
them,
They are the one that I want to play for, you know.
who could risk their lives, still appreciate
Yeah, yeah. They're
enjoy
so
the
lost
music.
in the music that they
Hmm.
forgot about everything. It's
Hmm.
timeless, you know. Is that yeah?
Great.
Okay,
So
tea
let's play
time.
something.
Tea time.
Tea time.
Where's the tea? I
Tea.
brought my thermos with it. It's like
And hope you had warmed some samosas too, like you
samosas are
said.
ready and pakoras. Okay, so we play. Just I'm gonna do a little setup. I mean, technically, I'm not really so set up well, but as you see,
Hmm.
it's okay. I'm
Which
gonna
which
set up
scale?
the scale Kirvani
Kirvani. Great.
in D.
Okay.
I'm just going to slowly put the santoor here. Yeah, people cannot see the santoor, but maybe I just show it. That's the santoor.
Beautiful. Beautiful. This is
So
Irani santoor or Indian
yeah,
santoor?
this is the Irani santoor.
Irani santoor, no?
And I didn't want to play the Indian santoor because we kind of kept it a bit Sufi
Yes.
style, you know. So I just, this is really too much. Earphones. Okay. Oh, the the tracks. Okay. So now we play also like a little bit of one song that I composed, and so we do like improvisation on a theme.
Beautiful. Yes. Key is different.
No, no,
Is it C sharp?
yeah, you're right. I got. Now it's D.
Rama, percussion can be a little bit down because it's booming a bit. Yes,
Okay.
perfect, perfect, perfect.
It is so called Adami, which means grace. It's like okay, looking for grace or longing for grace. You know?
Beautiful.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Keep playing, keep playing. Well,
I cannot hear you so well.
I have not started to play.
Ah.
I was worried my head is swaying.
Ah, chop his head. Manipura Samanta Mehadaram Khabura
Wow.
Samadari Lalandura Duran Mudishka Randa Mantale Rahatan Tale Nasi Loharani Dhamma Khatani Semadani Amano Samea Paramarangani Mare Manak Matashi Hadano Haradi Hadano Haradi
Super.
Et voilà.
Great, Ramadan.
I could
So
not hear you.
nice.
I could not hear you so well, so it was a bit this kind of
But I could
delayed,
hear you very.
delayed.
Ah.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
But it's okay. We did our
But
best.
yeah, it came out well from my side. It was
Ah,
sounding good.
really? Ah, yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. When you listen to this later, you would know. It's
Ah,
good.
okay.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Great,
And
Ramadan.
meanwhile, my cat here
Uh-huh.
just dropped a lamp. You know, he's trying to come through the
Oh,
window.
oh.
It's okay.
So
So it's funny we got to play together.
yeah,
Nice. Anyway,
great.
I have a plan. We do something together. We record something together.
Yes, surely, surely. We can do a
Like I told
single or
you,
something. Yeah.
I told you. But because you got a studio, you can record stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yes,
okay.
yes. I can.
So,
Great. So thank you so much, Ramadan, so much. It was such it was like a journey down the memory lane in many ways because we had shared so many beautiful musical moments, sannyas moments, and so it's also always a great to connect with you. And I hope you stay well, safe, and healthy,
okay. We finished
and
already. It's the
kind
end.
of we can round off. Uh,
Oh, I've got the American santoor here. That's okay. Basant
we
Mukari.
can play that. We can play that. One round of
Okay.
that. Surely,
Okay.
surely,
I'll go.
surely, surely.
I'll get it.
Yes, please do that. In the meantime, I'll just do something with different scale.
Voila.
Wow, this is great.
Just a minute. I'll
This
get
is
my
huge. This
earphones.
is huge.
Tell me if you can hear it well. I think I'll take the play without earphones. Okay.
Yes, yes. I also thought so.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay.
Basant Mukari. Huh?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Pandit.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's little difficult to play like this. Yeah, unless I can hear you really well, you know.
Yes.
If
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot, yeah. Anyway, thank you, Manish, for inviting me for this wild, wild slide into debauchery, slide into,
Yes.
and yeah, great. So
Yeah, at least we could connect and we could talk such nice
I know,
things and about us and
yeah,
the music and at
yeah,
least
yeah. Anyway,
so
1 hour is a bit short, also, you know. It's like, but
yes,
yeah,
yes. So thank you so much, Ramadan. Very, very, very nice to always see you, meet you, and talk with
yeah,
you. Next time we meet, maybe we have some good thali together, then chai, and
absolutely,
then
absolutely, yeah.
yes. How can we miss
And
that?
I'm looking forward to the piece we will do together. Like,
Yes, yes, yes. We'll connect about this later, and then
mm,
we'll bring it
yeah,
out.
great.
Great. Thank you,
Okay,
dear. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Thank you so much,
thank
dear.
you. Yeah, I'm gonna have a chai now, quickly.
Yeah.
1 hour is a chai, but with soya milk. So
Yeah. Soya
I'm a
chai.
vegan
It
now.
will
I'm a
be.
vegan. So
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Okay, dear. Bye,
okay,
bye, bye.
bye, bye, bye.
Ciao, ciao. Take care. Bye, bye, bye.